Okay, in this video we're checking out the new Diatone R369. This is the 6S version of the 3-inch R349 that I reviewed a few months back, is what it looks like here. So there's a number of changes here between the 369 and the 349. So obviously 349 is the 4S version. It has the Mamba Mini F4 version here, whereas the 6S version now has the Mamba Mini F7 version, so it's got the F7 stack. And I actually have a video that goes into detail on this stack here, which is just a video on the 4-in-1 ESC and the flight controller only, not the video transmitter. So there's actually a lot of changes between the 349 and the 369. So the frame is different for one. So the 349 here is a squished X frame, so you can see it is closer together front to back and further apart side to side, as you can see. But when you look at the 369, it's a stretched X, so it is further apart front to back and closer together side to side. Or if I put it this way here, you can see there's the front here. So this is the traditional stretched X on the 369 6S version, and the 4S version is a squished X. So obviously you're going to have some different flight characteristics. You're going to have some different motors as well. Let's see here, the 4S version here comes with the 1408 motors. They're 4000 kV. Yeah, 1408s, 4000 kV. And on 6S you have a lower kV motor. It's the same, essentially the same motor. It's the 1408 Mamba motor, but this one is coming in at 2800 kV. And we have the same props, the Gemfan 3052s. We have a different camera now as well, and a video transmitter. So in the 349 they were running the RunCam Swift. I believe this is the version 2 of the Swift, plus the RunCam Backpack VTX, which goes to 200 milliwatts. It's on the back there. But now they're using all TBS stuff, or actually a Foxeer and TBS combo stuff. So you have a TBS Unify video transmitter there. It's actually on board with a capacitor for a really clean video. And then you have this circular polarized antenna here is also a TBS antenna on this 3D printed part. That is new. There's only a linear whip antenna on the 349. So you get very good video reception with this antenna. I don't know what this is called. I think it's kind of a clone or something similar to the Micro Axi. And then the camera, they switched out from the RunCam Swift to the Predator. This is the Foxeer Predator, and I believe it doesn't say there. I believe it's the version 4 camera. It is running PAL, but it is PAL and NTSC switchable, should be. But I left it in the PAL mode. And you have the same canopy as before, but now you have these LEDs here. So actually, I'm gonna have to turn this on. It's actually not run by the LED controller and the flight controller. It's actually just a separate board here with a little button there to change colors. So this is probably not going to come out too well. There's kind of a pink light there. You can see a pink hue on my hand, but it's kind of totally blown out. Let me see if I can adjust the exposure. Yeah, so there. If I adjust the exposure, it's bright. These lights are really bright. And you can see this is kind of a pink color, but you can change. So the colors you can change are the inside, these 4 on the inside, these ones on the outside, these smaller ones, I think they just stay white. And they just press this button here. And I'm not exactly sure how many colors are. This blue, and yeah, it does not really come out too well on the camera, even if I adjust the exposure all the way down. That's a blue color. And so we have looks like a pink and a white here. It does not come out on the camera very well at all. So we have a green now, and a red. Looks more orange in the camera, and sort of a darker blue, yellow, and we're back to pink. Yeah, it's this regular pink. So it doesn't really come out too well in the camera video, but yeah, it's very bright and it looks really nice when you look at it in person. This part here is also available as a separate part you can buy if you want to add this to any existing this is this GT series with the canopy. And this part here actually just sits underneath the lip of this canopy there, so you can see the whole thing just sits right there. Small little board, and then there's a little connector there. I think that's just going to be for power. Yeah, as far as I can tell, this isn't connected to the LED system of the flight controller. I might be mistaken on that because I don't see a signal wire there, and nothing was set up for LED control in the flight controller. But they did send this to me as a prototype and didn't have any kind of software on it at all. So I did flash Betaflight 403 on here, and I did do a somewhat of a tune. It's okay. It's not a perfect tune. I'm not looking for the ultimate PID tune. I just want to be able to fly and have minimal prop wash and just have a good time with it. And I will put that down in the CLA dump. I will put the CLA dump down in the description if you guys want to use it. Feel free to do so, but no guarantees that you'll actually like that or not. Just like all the other Diatone GT-R series here, this does come with a little connector there that is just hanging out here. It's a plug and play, and I have my RXSR receiver hanging out down there. I just kind of shoved it behind this little standoff right there. It's not that easy to see. Seems to be okay. It's not really. It's good. Isn't it pretty good? Then I have my antennas out here on some zip ties with some heat shrink. Okay, so just measuring the bottom plate, it is coming at 4mm. It's the same as the 349. And just measuring the frame itself, side to side's coming in roughly around 92mm. And the front to back distance is roughly 110mm. And the diagonal motor to motor distance is about 143mm. Okay, as I mentioned before, this is the Mamba Mini F7 with the F7 flight controller and 32-bit ESC. So I have a video on this one as well. I'll put that down in the description. You guys can check that out if you want details on the flight controller itself. But it's got plenty of UARTs, so you can add on additional peripherals if you want, although space is pretty limited here. And you do have the 32-bit ESCs on this stack. So I actually was planning to do a build on this stack and something else, but this showed up, and before I had even a chance to do a 6S build with that stack. So obviously, for those of you guys that have been wondering how this stack performs, you get to see that in the flight footage a little bit later in this video. But yeah, bottom line is I thought it was great. I think this whole setup here, the design, I really like it. Much better than the HGLRC Mini Aero. I didn't think that setup performed all that great, even though it came also with 1408 motors. I believe that one is a lower kV, so it doesn't quite have the performance, the pop that this one does. And I believe that one's heavier than this one. So let me actually give you a weight measurement. Okay, so this one's coming in at about 155 grams. I believe this is lighter than the Mini Aero. Now, one of the things that I mentioned in my previous videos on these 6S micros is that I believe that there's going to be a low rate of adoption on these until there's more batteries available. And so Diatone is trying to solve that problem. They actually provided a couple of these 6S packs here. These are, as you can see, they're not labeled. I actually don't even know who makes them. They wouldn't tell me. I guess it's kind of a secret, but this is a 6S 650 milliamp hour pack. And they said it's rated, I think 95C or something like that. It has pretty good internal resistance. It was less than 10, at least on my charger, which in my book is a decent battery. And you can get super long flight times on this one if you're not super aggressive on the throttle, like more than 5-6 minutes, which is kind of nuts. But if you're pretty aggressive, this one doesn't have as huge of a voltage sag, and you can get a solid, pretty crazy 3-minute joyride on this 6S battery. It's pretty dang fast. You can also fly this on 4S. I tuned it for 6S, and then I stuck a 750 4S battery on here, and it flew okay. I mean, obviously, it's going to need a little bit of tweaking for 4S. So if you want to fly this on 4S and you want a PID tune, let me know in the comments below. We'll see how much interest there is in that. I'm not sure if there's going to be that much interest, but running this on This lower KV motor on 4S is totally flyable, and it's still pretty fast. And might be better for beginners if you're interested in this and starting out on 4S and then moving up to 6S, or maybe later on when more 6S batteries are available. That this could be a really good option. But yeah, like I said, you could start off on 4S and then upgrade to 6S later. It is completely flyable on 4S and fast enough. Obviously not as fast as on 6S, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good on 4S as well. Okay, so one last thing, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments about that, is that this one has an XT60 on it, not an XT30. I'm not necessarily sure if that's needed for 6S because the amp draw isn't always necessarily going to be more. With a higher voltage, you should have less current, but this is what they went with, and I didn't really experience too much voltage lag. You guys could look at the OSD voltage readings on this and leave me some comments below as to what your thoughts are on that, if XT30 or XT60 is the way to go for 6S on these little 3-inch micros on, a pretty big 1408 motor. Anyway, guys, overall, I thought this is a really good model. I like the way it flew. It just handled really well and has really good power. I think these 1408 motors are definitely better than the HGLRC 1408 motors. Anyway, guys, here's some more flight footage for you guys, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.